All right, so I'm going to make a quick video trying to simplify what we did last, and I want you to do it and get back to me. So we spoke about data, um, uh, file handling rather. There you have your data. Okay. We said that to access it, you use with, right? Then you open the file source data.csv. Then what we want to do, I want to read it, and we want to read it as file. Okay. Then you create a variable. Let's use book. Book is equals to file.read, right? Book is equals to file dot read. So the next thing we're going to do is, when you print this, when you print book, you're going to see, so you're going to see all the stuff inside. But based on your question, you want to print just this. All right. But before we do that, we want to print the remaining and exclude this. Before we do that, there's something you need to understand in lists. So if we have a list, for example, okay, and your list, you have food, rice, beans, beans, and corn, and garri. So if you have your lists, and I say print list, print food, open the square brackets, full column one. Just stay, don't worry about anything. Let me say that I'm not printing. Okay, there's an error here sef. Sorry for the error. And also I need to channel 5. Alright, let me complete the print, and also I don't want this book to print again. I'll comment it yet. So print food, full column one. Before I do this, note that you want to print index. I taught you the index, that this is 0, 1, 2. So if I say print 1, you know what it will print. It will print beans. Am I right? If I say print 2 or print 3, you know what it will print. 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, if I say I want it to print from 1 to 2, note that I wrote 3. Any number you write at this end, you are printing the number before it. I'm printing from 1 to 2. This 3 here means when you stop at any if I put here, it means it will stop at 3. You understand? If I put 2 here, it means it will just stop at 1. If I put 3 here, it will stop. So you're going to, it's going let's check the output so that you understand. You are not printing the exact number, that you are printing the number before the number that is there. What is our number one? 0 is rice, 1 is beans, right? Then 2 is corn, but it will not print 3. It's stopping at the number before 3. If I say print from 0, which is nothing, to 2, it's going to print from the start. So it's going to print from the start, which is right, to number 1, excluding number 2. Okay. So that's how indexing works. All right. So when you see something like print just one, it's just printing the first one. But if I say print um one and what, remember this is the start and this is the end. Where you want to start, it will start from where you want it to start. But it will, now we are not putting anything at the end. So what is going to do that is going to print from beans to the end. Do you understand? When I say one full column, it's going to print beans from beans to the end patapata. Hope you understand. So this idea, this knowledge here, we want to use it in our list, in our book. Okay, now we know that when we run this, it's going to read everything. But now let's say we want to print without heading, without the head. So without the head, we are going to take this our book dot. Now we are splitting it. So anytime you see the word split, split turns anything, any word, it turns it to a list. Remember that we can only do index with list. The one I just did now, we can only do indexing with list. So when you do book dot split, it means we are turning this book to a list. And this dot split, remember, it's a function. Okay, and the first thing we want to do is that we want to break everything into separate lines. Okay, that is what we want to do. We want to break everything into separate lines, and our concern in this is, what was it called, is line one. Now before we continue, look at what they have here. Maximum split. This one here is maximum split, and this slash n is called the separator. Okay, what do you want to use to separate them? Forward slash n. How many, let me explain this maximum split before we continue. Remember we have line one, line two, line three, line four. We want it that it should, the maximum split should be just one, because we are targeting this line one. You can increase the number to two or three, anyone you want. Okay, so this one here means remove only the header. Okay, so if you have done this, remember we just assign book dot split. Split converts any text to a function, to a list rather. Then we said the first thing you need to do, you need to separate the list from each other, which is this forward slash n. Because when you want to code well, you know what you want to do and you do it step by step. Okay, you read it, then you convert it to a list because you want to remove something. Not that you cannot remove anything from just anything, you must remove it from a list. So you convert it to a list. When doing that, inside this split, you have two stuff there, parameters there, two arguments there. Number one is the separator, which is the forward slash n, and number two is the maximum split. We want to split it, we want to just remove line one. So if we come here, when you are done with this, you now do the list. What do you want to do? I want to start, you want to start from one. Okay, now why are we starting from one? We know that we can start from zero. If we start from zero, it means this our header will remain, but we are starting from one, which is the second one. Remember that now this is a list because we converted it to a list with this split. Right, now this is our zero, this is our one, this is our two, this is our three. Okay, now we said we want the maximum split should be from one. That is, it will not split and touch number one. It will only split zero. Do you understand? Let me run it so that you see. So if you have done this, when you print, let's say you print without the head. So when you print without head, let's check the output whether this works. Now you can see it prints everything except the head, except this head. I come again. This one here shows you the maximum split. If I put the maximum split to be 2, it will throw an error, it will run perfectly. Let's check. So the maximum split is 2. So this is 0, 1, 2. So the maximum split is 2, is going to print the Alice, which is this one, because we put it at index 1. If we change this thing to 2 now, this point will not want to confuse you. Alright, good. So we say the maximum split is 2, okay, and we are starting from index 2. So this is 0, 1, 2. So it's going to print from Henry to Charles. All right, it's printing from Henry to Charles. So you can, if you put the maximum split at 1 and you are starting from index 2, let's check it. Error. Beautiful. Let's read the error. They say that least index out of range. Okay, yeah, because the maximum split is 1 and you want to start from 2. No, the maximum split must be greater than or equals to the number you are starting from. Okay, now in your, don't forget that the maximum split must be greater than or equals to, it can be 3 or equals to the number you are starting from. All right, now let's say in your work you want to, they ask you to print from the third or the 0, 1, 2. You know how to do that already. The maximum split will be what? 2, and you can start from 2. Okay, and again, you know that you can print minus 1. You know that you can do that in list. That is, if you want to um print the last incoming. Okay, if you want to print the last stuff, let's say we put the maximum split as 1. Okay, maximum split minus 1. Have I tried minus 1 before? Quickly. So you see, it will print the last thing in your list. So if you are asking your exam to print just the last data there, you can target it and print. If you are asked to print from, let's say you are asked to print from 0 to 1, what you do is that you start from 0. 0 is empty, then 1. You don't need to put 0 here. You start from 0 to 1, then you print. Okay. Oh, remember that this last number, it prints the number before it. So when we are printing 0 to 1, we are supposed to put 2 because it excludes the 2. It stops at 1. I hope you understand that stop, because this is a closed bracket. When you say 0 to 2, it means you are printing 0 and 1 because 2 is not included. If you want to put 0 to 2, you put 3 here. Right? So that's how it works. So you can print from any range to any range. So what I want you to do, I want you to practice. If you not practice this, you are going to miss it. Okay. So if you just want to print this, the list of the book, you can do it. So for you to print from a range to another range, please master this. It's not difficult. Okay. When you get to this point, all you need to do is that convert it to a list, add the separator, then these two should be your concern. Okay. So hope you understood the chart. So we are not using for loop, so can, this one is more easier, right? So